Okay, class. We have these two angles that, if we look at it, it looks like steps. Let me draw this line a little further out. They're called corresponding angles. They're angles that are in the same position. And again, this angle down here would say is D. In order to answer this question, we would say they're corresponding angles. Angles that are in the same position. And as we continue drawing this line out, continuing, these angles would continue to be equal also to those other angles. Now in this diagram, you have two 70-degree angles that are labeled, and you have four angles, W, X, Y, and Z, that we need to figure out what are their measurements. Now class, I want you to pay attention. Right here, you have two parallel lines that go like that. Because this little line down here, that's what it's stating, that that line continues forever. Knowing this, I can tell that 70 and X are alternate interior angles. They're in between the two parallel lines and they're on opposite sides. So that can tell me that X is 70 degrees. So if that's 70, this is 70, and all of this together has to be 180. Well, that's 70, so that's 140. Then that means this has to be 40. Remember, a straight line is 180. Okay, so now we found a second one. Y is equal to 40. Now we need to find W. Well, if I know two angles from a triangle, I can find the third by understanding that all three angles equal 180. So if I know 70, that's 110, I'll take that away. Take away 40, which is the other angle I know, and I'm left with 70. So W is equal to 70. Now I'm just left with Z. Now, if I look, these two angles, I just labeled them, X and we'll just call this one C because it's on the point C. They're in the same position because these two lines are also parallel, meaning this is also a transversal, meaning that this angle and this angle are corresponding angles. So if X is 70, that must mean that C is 70, meaning that Z is what? Well, we just did that right now. Actually, we did that earlier with a different problem. Sorry about that. But 70 is 140. So take 140 from 180, and you're left with 40. And if you look, Y and Z are equal. And they're on opposite sides of this transversal. Again, these relationships open up once there's more and more lines. You start to notice more and more things that are equal to each other. So, 40 degrees. This part is for you to fill out and explain. I just showed it to you, so hopefully you can use your notes and explain it carefully, okay? Now, right here, we need to make sure what angle they're talking about. Well, when they say FAB, I start from point F, go to A, and finish at B. So that middle letter, A, that's where the angle is. This is 97 degrees. JBC is 40. So they want to know what is CBI. Okay, so this might be a little tricky. But let's stop for a second. We have a straight line, F to K. That means this is 180. So if I know one angle, 97, I need to find the second piece. Well, what do I do, class? 180 minus 97. So I'll be left with 83. So BAC is equal to 83 degrees. Why does that matter, class? Well, if we double check and look, these are two parallel lines. Here's a transversal. If I look, let me use another color, let's see, blue. IB and J are corresponding angles to BAC. So we can find part of this angle, because what are we trying to find altogether? C, B, and I. I know that JBC is 40 degrees. Hopefully I haven't lost you yet. So what I really want to find out is, well, what is this angle right here? Well, didn't I just find this one? This is 83 degrees now. So if they're corresponding, this should be 83 degrees. So what should my answer be, class? 123 degrees. So by knowing just a couple of angles, we can know what we know. We can use what we understand about straight lines, about that straight line's angle, about corresponding angles, and we can do some subtraction and figure out one angle, add it to another one, and there we have our angle. Okay, and this is the same thing here. You have EAC measures 139, so I'll use red for that. EAC equals 139. I'll use blue for HBI. HBI is 81. So now they want to know, what is BCA? Okay, so if we look, what if I finish and make this a triangle? Okay, so let's finish this. And I know this is a straight line right here from I to E. And this has to measure 180 altogether. So 180 minus 139 gives me 41. So I know this is 41. Vertical angles are equal to each other also. So that means that this angle right here is 81. So what's 81 plus 41, class? 122. But earlier we talked about triangles having to have all three angles equal what? 180 degrees. So we know two of them by subtract. There you go. BCA is equal to 58 degrees, class. So it might look intimidating because there's so many lines, but really you just have to look and say what's parallel. Well, like on this problem, these two lines are parallel. These two intersect. Okay? And then this one's very simple. What is this? Well, 180 minus 44 minus 101. And then what's left over is this angle, class. And then another one that I'll leave to you guys. Okay, I'll leave you a couple problems. This one and the last one. Any questions, bring them to class on Wednesday or Thursday, and hopefully this video helps you understand how, by knowing what type of angles we have, we can solve the measurement of other angles, even with just one angle provided. Okay, class?